What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome, I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show is, can you create beyond disease? And if you're just joining us, disease is spelled as dis-ease. What if disease is nothing more than a dis-ease in the body that we actually do not even need to overcome? What if it's something that we can use to create greater? Let's play with the tools that can change our lives. Because I'm a medical doctor by education, by profession, by license, by everything. And I quit traditional medicine, allopathic medicine, to become Access Consciousness Facilitator, as well as Akashic Records teacher and founder of Akashic School of Creation. And I've been facilitating classes around the world in both English and Russian and changing people's lives, or at least when they choose it, because everything is a choice. We create based on choice. Though, like I recently heard from Dr. Dane, by the way, Access Consciousness was created by Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here, co-created with him, and amazing system of tools. So Dr. Dane said recently that one of the things that we have that we've been creating is problems which actually not real. It's to avoid choice. Because problem is basically AI like artificial intelligence simulation, because problem can have only two choices, two kind of like two of either yes or no. Basically, we're going back to zero and ones in the computer system. So that's part of our brain. When the brain is functioning, it functions as an algorithm. Zero ones, good, bad, right, wrong, black, white. It cannot deal with infinite choice, which is actually what is. This reality is based on limited choices. But if we look at the universe, if we look at nature, there is no black and white. There is infinite colors, infinite choices, infinite everything. And even if you look at the horizon, it feels like even that line goes into infinity. I like when I remember saying, try to walk under the rainbow or find the end of the rainbow. Because at the end of the rainbow, as we all know, is leprechaun with a pot of gold, right? And somehow we never can, because that light is infinite. We can never reach the infinity, and yet somehow we start creating limited choices. So what if this is in the body is just that, to avoid the infinite choice? Because there is only few things people can argue with when we say, I cannot do that. You know which ones are those? Health. Oh, I'm sick, I cannot do it. And two, money. I only have money. And the third, I don't have time. Time, as we know, is total invention. Time is relative, according to physicists. If we move with the speed of light, time flows differently than for people who are moving on this planet. And did you notice, even in your life, there are times when time flows slow, very slow. And then there are times when it's so fast, 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 we cannot even stop to notice what's going on around us. And sometimes we feel like we're running late and yet we are on time. Same with illness. Did you notice that? I don't know about you, but I always created illness on vacation because that's when I had time to relax. If I got sick during the working time or that was when it was getting real bad. I didn't want to do something. Now I realize that. At that time, it was, I just got sick. It's a problem. What if nothing is a problem? What if it's just a choice? Everything we create in our lives, and I'll repeat that, everything we create in our lives, good, bad, and ugly. You say, no, things happen. Yes and no. They happen only when we invite them in our lives. And it's not a cognitive choice. It's not a conscious choice. That choice might have happened 1,000 years ago because we decided something in that 10 seconds or maybe even less. Maybe it was to punish ourselves. Maybe it was to create something different in another person or punish another person. All of that, even punishment, is an invention. And yet, we still function according to karma because we believe in it. Our points of view create our reality, as we talked many times in many of my shows, and you've heard it many, many times in different modalities. Different people tell you the same thing, that karma is in a way real according to your belief system. And what's interesting, it's all those unfinished contracts, unfinished thoughts, unfinished emotions, unfinished feelings that we keep replaying in this life. How relevant is it to your life right now? Probably not at all. But we do create those this is things in our body, in our lives, in our money, in our relationships. It doesn't matter. Tools are the same and choices are the same. No matter what we choose, if we choose this is with money or with body or with relationship, underlying cause is the same. There is somewhere, somehow, a point of view that creates that. A lot of times it's totally insane. And you would say, no, it's impossible. I cannot think that. And yet, the thing I'm talking about, the problem, exists. Because we cannot create something out of nothing. And it's the law of physics. Energy being changed. It cannot be created. It just changes from one state to another. Look at water. It can be vapor, it can be fluid, or it can be ice. Water is still the same molecule, H2O. And yet, depending on the forces that around it, water chooses to become vapor and being like air, so nothing can touch it, and it moves at the molecules move at a much faster speed, versus when the water flows, it's a little slower. And when it's ice, it's very rigid. How much of that reminds you of your life? When we slow down, we become very rigid. If we don't exercise, our body becomes rigid. If we don't do something, or if we don't create, then there is a stagnation, just like with water. Look at the swamps. By the way, I love swamps because they're beautiful. But if the water is not flowing there, the dis-ease starts happening. Is it the choice of the environment, or is it the choice of the water? Or if it's a choice of both? A lot of times it's choice of both. The environment and the water interacting together, the bacteria, the fungus, it's all kind of like together, the ecosystem. What if our bodies are also ecosystems? And the bacteria, viruses, and our bodies interact, and our being interact with the environment, creating what is going on with our bodies right now. And what if we stop resisting it? I've been reading a lot of fantasy books. I love fantasy books because to me they're more kind of like inspiring, because I love magic. And I know that we all are magic. I know we are all capable of miracles. And it gives me ideas how to use our bodies, our being, in a way that it will create more. So right now I kind of fall down. I have a lot of pain. And yet I'm not resisting pain, though last night I did. And that created even more pain. It's actually interesting. When we resist something, it persists, right? We talk about, if you joining me just now for first time, I've done a lot of shows, I think over 150 shows, and you can listen to them in podcasts on YouTube, Spotify, Apple TV, if you're watching TV, and Google TV, as well as Binge TV. I mean, there is a lot of places to watch it. Just search for Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. But what I was talking about in that book, the guy was going through what's called manifest, which is he would drink some magical potion to go through trials. And one of them was trials through pain, trials through fear, trial, I think the other one was trial of despair. But the first one was trial of pain. And the pain was so severe, though he was a healthy guy. But because of the magic, it created something in his body that created such an intense pain that he couldn't even stand it. He was almost going insane with that amount of pain. And what he chose next was not resisting pain, but finding some quiet space inside of himself where he can observe pain. And when he was able to do that, the pain just disappeared. How much are we actually buying into the pain as being true and real, and resist it or align and agree with that? And that creates even more pain and disease. And we'll talk more after the break. It's time for our first break of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. And we will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is, can you create beyond this ease? And I've been facilitating classes around the world, body classes specifically, energy work, that showed that this is pretty much what it sounds like, not ease in the body. And if we look at that, we can change anything. We can create beyond that. By the way, if you're interested in classes, you can always go on my website, creatingabundancewithease.com or accessconsciousness.com, and find out more when is the next class. With everything that's going on in the world, a lot of people, especially with COVID, chose to leave this planet. And the relatives, of course, will be missing them. And yet, there is that judgment that if the person has a dis-ease, or if the person dies, it's something wrong. Because like I said in the first part, this reality functions on ones and zeros, right and wrong, good and bad. So if the person dies, it's bad. If they survive and they get healthy, it's good. What if neither one of them is right or wrong or good or bad? What if it's just a choice? Because if we look at something as right or wrong, good or bad, what happens? There is always a resistance to do something wrong or bad. And there is always alignment and agreement. Oh, I want to do something good, something right. And it's like that string or tug of war, if you think about it, pulling into different directions, but nobody is moving. So what if we let go of looking at this is or death or anything in your lives or my life as not being good, not being bad, just a choice? How much easier it can be if we look at everything as just a choice. Choice that creates awareness, choice that creates something in the future, choice that will inspire others maybe, choice that maybe change our lives, somebody else's lives, or nothing. Choice that doesn't do anything. What if it's just that? Because if it's right and wrong, good and bad, we put so much importance on that decision. And decision is, even the word decision. This is So it's not easy to make decisions. What if we don't make decisions? What we just choose in the moment? And those choices that we make in the moment, what if we choose what feels more expanding and do that? If it's something contract us, what if we choose not to choose that? You would say, but there are responsibilities, obligations. Well, obligations, yeah. What if we don't have obligations? And responsibilities, even the word itself, the actual meaning is being able to respond, meaning being able to choose in a moment. What if whole life was just that? Choosing in the moment, choosing according to what expands our life, not what contracts it. Because that's what creates dis-ease. The more we choose things that contract us, the more our body contracts and the more it creates that dis-ease or illnesses in the body. And on my website, there is an amazing expansion exercise, and we're going to do it right now together. And you can download it for free, so you can do it on your own time if you choose to. You'll end up on my email list, and you can always unsubscribe if you choose to. Or you can choose receive email. They're not frequent. They're probably only once a month, maybe a little bit more if there is an event going on. So just relax and allow yourself just to be in that 10 seconds. And what if that was a choice that you can make? What if everything that we are going to be doing right now or being is just a choice? It's not important. It's not something significant, just a choice. And you're choosing it to be in that moment to expand. So just choose to allow yourself just to be. Either sit down, choose to sit down, choose to lay down, choose to stand. Whatever you choose in the moment is okay. There is no right and wrong choices. There is no good or bad choices. Just a choice. And allow your crown to open up for the light of the universe to go in. And with that, just allow yourself to be present with your body, to be just choosing to be. Yeah, like that. And from that, allow that light to go all the way through your body, through your feet into earth. And pull it from earth through your feet, through your body, and allow it to exit through the crown, mixing in your heart. Allow yourself to be present with your heart. It's in the middle of your chest, or heart chakra, or higher self, or lower self, doesn't matter. Just choose to be present in this moment. And allow that light to swirl around in the heart and expand from that one point all the way out, a mile, 10 miles, or kilometers. If you're other than America, and I would say England and Australia, you measure everything in kilometers. And again, it's not right or wrong, it's just a choice. So just substitute when I say miles, because I'm in the States, kilometers. So 10 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers or miles. Make yourself as big as Earth, bigger, 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 bigger than solar system, bigger than the universe, bigger than multiverse. And allow yourself just to be in that space of expansion. And allow the light to go to every point in the universe and beyond multiverse. And allow all the corners, all the crevices to be filled with light. And without contracting, allow yourself to bring your attention into your body. And just observe your body from inside and see where there is any dis-ease. Usually it presents as a contraction or darkness or dark spot, because darkness is nothing more than the absence of light. So just bring the light there. Just shine the light. Just pull the light through the crown and into every organ, every cell, every molecule of your body. And allow that light to shine out as well. More light. And more space. As you can see, this is nothing more than absence of ease in the body. So what if you actually allow your body to have ease? Allow your money situation to have ease. Allow your relationship to have ease. Allow time in your life have ease. Allow everything in your life to have ease. And if you contracted because I said a few things that might not kind of like be what you think, does not match your idea of what is, allow yourself just to be and expand even more. And it's time for our second break of the show. And you don't have to contract during the break. You can continue staying in that expanded state for the rest of the show or for the rest of your life. And you've been listening to myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And we will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is, can you create beyond this is? And in the first two parts, we were talking about that this is just the absence of ease. And we did the exercise in the second part of bringing the light into the body and expanding. And you can download that from the website. Well, variation. It's a little different on the website, more traditional on creatingabundancewithease.com. And you can always contact me with any questions about this show or any other shows. And you can listen to more shows on about 750 different podcast platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube, and watch the show on TV, Apple TV, and Google TV, as well as, I believe, Binge TV. I think it's like 150 different TV channels. And you can always email me, contact me on the Messenger, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp. There's many ways of contacting me for classes, questions, anything. And with creating beyond this is, like we talked about, resistance and reactions and alignment and agreement, which keeps the this is in place. If we don't resist, if we just be with that, a lot of times it disappears. Unless we truly, truly have a point of view something is wrong, and we buy a point of view of the doctors. Because a lot of times we go to the doctor and they cannot even find anything. So what is that? We're psychics a lot of times, and healers, and so we take on other people's stuff. And I'm not talking just our parents' stuff, our siblings' stuff, or grandparents, or ancestors, or whatever. Even people on the street. We're so aware, our bodies are aware, and bodies is giving us information that, oh, this body has this is, and we actually can help them if they choose. And you're like, oh my God, that hurts. So you automatically put it in your body. So instead, one of the amazing tools of access consciousness is, who does it belong to? And asking that for 10 days, 10 days would be nice, but at least 3 days for every thought, feelings, emotion, and pain, a lot of times clears a lot of things. And you become walking, talking meditation. Because all my life I've been doing meditation, different types, guided, non-guided, Zen meditation. I've done very serious Zen meditation. I even went for 5 days of sesshin and have a teacher and all that. It's very intense. And yet I wasn't able to quiet my mind as much as with bars or with who does it belong to tools of access consciousness. It's about creating beyond thoughts, beyond feelings, beyond emotion, because all of those creating this is in the body. Um, when we solidify our feelings, they became fat. If we solidify our emotions, a lot of time they create heart disease, cancer, all of those things. And in order to undo that, we can actually start asking the questions. Who does it belong to? Even if we created some physical manifestation of that, a lot of time it will disappear if it wasn't ours to begin with. It sounds so simple, sounds so like woo, and yet it works magically. Yeah, in the first part, I was talking about magic because everything is magical. Look at nature. If you ever seen the moment of conception, there are movies about that. I've seen it under the microscope. If you've seen a seed growing, if you've seen a flower blooming, as a kid, I remember growing cactuses. And they say cactus flowers very rarely. Well, my cactus flowered every few years, probably every couple of years. And I was told that particular cactus never flowers, or maybe once in a lifetime. And yet I observed that flower. It actually opened up during the day and died by the end of the day. But it was such a miracle to observe that flower just opening up. It's magic. Like, think about it for a second. All those forces behind everything that grows, behind the child growing in the womb from one cell, or actually two cells combining into one, and magic. 9 months later, a human is born, or humanoid. The child is born that grows into adult and creates something. We never think about that, how magical life is. We never pay attention to that because we're so ingrained and entrained in concentrating on problems and problem solving that we forget how magical our life is. I mean, for a second, let's look at how we came about from one cell years ago, whenever the conception of you happened, which actually never happens. You chose it. You chose your parents, you chose your family, you chose the life. Everything is chosen before people come into the body. And yet they blame their parents, they blame everything. What if we stop blaming everyone, including ourselves? What if there is no fault? What if there is no right and wrong? What if it's just a choice? You chose to be in this body, you chose to be in this life, chose this time to be here on this planet. And what if not wrong? What if it's just a choice and magic? Our hands, our hair, our bodies are so miraculous, and yet we judge it constantly. How many of you, including me, look in the mirror and, oh, that's this, oh, too fat, too skinny, too this, too that. What if we let go of all of that and just look at this miraculous, wonderful body and thank it? Like, say thank you, body. In the 3-day body class, we do an amazing exercise, and I would like to do it all together right now. I usually create a little energy between hands. If you've never done that, just rub your hands together and just, you might feel it, you might not feel it, but might be some tingling between the palms or like almost like a little rubbery feeling. So bring that on your face and just touch your face and say, thank you, body. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for carrying me throughout all those years. I'm not saying how many years, and you know how many years you've had your body. And what if it's not just a meat suit, not just something like a dress made out of meat that you put on, but actual conscious being that you live in symbiotic relationship, co-creating together. Because body listens to everything you say, think, and be. And anytime when we have a judgment, body's like, oh, you would like more wrinkles? Fine, let's create more. Oh, you want to die? Well, fine. You don't want to live like that? Well, let's create a cancer. Let's create heart disease. Let's create this. Oh, you don't want to hear? Well, fine. We'll create something with your ears. Don't want to see? Fine. We'll create some blindness. And would you let go of all of that? All of those past thoughts, feelings, decisions, and just let them go. And just be with your body the way it is right now, acknowledging it and asking if there is something you might not like, which is fine. You might ask body, how can we change it? What would it take to change it? And body will tell you, not verbally. You might not hear, oh, you have to do this, or you might, but a lot of times when you're in a store and you look and suddenly you see a vitamin or supplement and you're like, oh, what's that? And you get an awareness that, oh, that will change this condition. And it's so easy. But no, we create this is. And with that, I'm going to take another break. This is our third and final break of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Inspired Choices Network. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today's show topic is, can you create beyond this is? And it's kind of our last segment. In the first 3 segments, we talked a lot about how to create beyond this is, how this is has been created, and the magic behind our bodies. What if it's all much easier to change? What if it's just a choice? And not resistance and reaction, not alignment and agreement, and it's not cognitive. nothing is cognitive. It's all that unconscious, subconscious mind that goes through 0 and 1s, right and wrong, good and bad, and creating the algorithms by which our life has been created. And what if we can step out of those algorithms and allow ourselves to choose beyond it? It's not about fixing it. It's just choosing something different. And if you never heard of Access Consciousness, which was created by Gary Douglas and co-created with Dr. Dane Hare, you might not know, never tried bars. And that's an amazing, amazing techniques that allows to create the ease in the body. And you can find classes around the world. You can look on accessconsciousness.com or creatingabundancewithease.com. There is information about that. At this moment, my next class is actually a 3-day body class, which requires bars class and foundation before you can take those 3 days with the body. Amazing, filled with just those hands-on body processes that create change in the body, ease in the body. It starts on 24th of September. Also, there is going to be this weekend introductory class for Akashic Records in Russian. That's going to be in Buffalo Grove, and 3-day body class will be in Buffalo Grove, which is a Chicago area. If you live near Chicago, you're welcome for the 3-day body class if you have prerequisites. And if you speak Russian and you would like to join us, you can always contact me and we can get you on a Zoom, because that can be online. Body class, not so much. It's a hands-on technique, so you have to be in the class to learn it, in the class to enjoy it. But don't forget, this show is every week. Next week, we have a show in Russian, because I do classes and shows into different languages. Excuse me. Something is in the air. And next week will be limited, or it's безграничный или посредственный. Basically, it's limited or like everybody else. And you're welcome to listen to it even if you do not speak Russian. It's more about energy behind the scenes, because a lot of information is done through energy. I use a lot of symphony in my classes, in the shows, a lot of energy, and you can just enjoy the show without understanding the content. Also, you can contact me easily through Facebook, Instagram, website. Unknown caller. Sorry, forgot to turn it off. I have a new phone. I have iPhone 13. So that's actually, I guess I just got it yesterday. So you have to enjoy the ringtone. Anyway, so what can you create beyond this is a lot. And even as simple as annoying as phone call, especially the spam, a lot of times gets us into contraction saying, oh, I got a spam, and you create a problem out of that, which translates into something going on in the body as well. So what if instead of contraction, whenever we have any distraction, any problems, anything, you expand? And just a reminder, there is an expansion exercise that we did in part 2 that you can listen over and over again. You can probably, I'm not sure from which platform you can download the show, and it will allow you to cut it out, or you can just listen to the whole show or scroll forward to where we did the meditation, or just download it from the website Creating Abundance with Ease. There is many ways of enjoying expansion, or just allow yourself to expand. Just allow yourself to be space, because when you're space, not many things can affect you. When you're space, not much can hurt you. Think of, like in the first part, we were talking about water being air, like vapor, or being fluid, like water, or ice. And what if it's more than that? What if it's creating beyond anything that you can even imagine when you allow yourself to be? Just be present with it, be mindful, and allow yourself to, anytime when you have pain, anytime when you have problems, anytime when you actually say, I have a problem, go into, oh, is it actually a problem or a choice I made, and I can do a different choice. I can choose something different in this moment and create something different. A lot of times we go into the past and start recreating it in the future, trying to avoid mistakes of the past, trying to avoid being present with everything that you've done or not done. What if it's 2 minutes, 10 seconds ago? What if it's in the past? It's gone. It's not relevant anymore. What am I choosing now? What am I going to choose in the future? What will create more? The more questions we ask, the more we be the question, the more it expands our horizon, expands what we can choose, versus we can just choose what we choose before. How much of that is been ingrained and trained in us to follow the path, to have the purpose, to make decisions, the right decisions, and how much of that is limiting us and creating the this is in the body. We have only a couple of minutes left, and just a quick reminder, next week is going to be a show in Russian, безграничный или посредственный, unlimited, limitless, or like everybody else, and Body Class in Chicago, Akashic Records intro in Chicago area. And as I said, you can go to the website creatingabundancewithease.com, accessconsciousness.com, or just contact me through Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram. There are different groups, WhatsApp group or chats that I am in, where you can ask questions. There is Russian WhatsApp group, Telegram group that I do a lot of announcements, which is, I think, Helen Gitlevich I think it was in Ukraine and around the world. But just a reminder, just be the space and allow yourself expand and just be yourself. Not right, not wrong, not good, not bad, just you. Just your being, your body, and stop judging you. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.